Sending a redstone signal downwards is a little bit more complicated than sending them upwards. You've probably seen a torch tower like this, where the torches powering the blocks above them will invert the torches that are on those to send a signal upwards, with a bunch of NOT gates functionally, or using some transparent blocks that can send signals up and through them. As long as they're laid out like this, we can send a signal up to the top. It won't travel downwards though, transparent blocks will only let them go upwards through them. If we want to send one downwards, let's say from a line up top here, down to some dust like this, we have a few options. The most obvious one is to just build a staircase. Have the redstone dust come down around here to the side, and power right here. But let's say we have another line of redstone that's going along here and we don't want it to interfere with that. Well, luckily, this dust is powering this block here, so we can actually use a repeater to pull out the power. Because it's being soft powered and not hard powered, the dust won't get powered, but a repeater can. If you want to power this block directly though, there's other ways to do that. Using the dust up here, we can actually take an observer, looking upwards, and have some dust on top of that. When the dust will update, it'll send a pulse downwards to whatever we've got down here. In this case, just another piece of dust. But note that it just pulses and sends out a single, well, pulse. If you want to make it a permanent signal, you could use a copper bulb instead. That will change state every time, and you can use a comparator to read out from that. So if we have a comparator reading from here, it'll be on whenever it's on, and whenever we send another pulse, it'll turn off, turning the signal back off. Observers also work in a chain like this to send signals downwards. If you have a signal at the top, it'll send one down to the bottom, going observer to observer. You can go in other directions as well, as long as they're facing ones that are being updated. Pistons, pushing things, are also a great way to send signals down. A bunch of slime blocks attached to each other can move like a redstone block at the bottom to turn things on or off, or using more observers. They'll send a pulse out the back, so whichever way they're facing, they'll send a pulse that way. We can push this down to send a pulse out from it. Walls also work as well. Walls have an interesting property that when the middle block here is placed, they'll have this tower that comes out of them. And we can even just use a trapdoor to activate that. Pushing a block in place with a piston works as well. But to see it, we need to use an observer. Not looking at the side, because then it's going to be updated with the thing already attached to it. We need to look at it from the bottom. So we'll place one down here, facing upwards, and we can see whenever we flip this trapdoor, it gives an update to the one down there. Leave your redstone questions in the comments, and subscribe for more daily tips. Join the Discord too to see when streams are. We play all sorts of games, and I'm working on making one. Help support me on Coffee if you can too. Peace.